Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, Techado again, and this was my day off today. I was like about to, because it's like sad Sunday night for me, it's gonna be Monday morning for you guys. Um, but apparently, Pegaxy just shocked me today because few hours back they launched 5 updates that we have always wanted. This is a very critical day, which is 31st. Uh, it's going to be a very critical day for all of us because these were the factors that we have been wanting for the last 2 or 3 months. As a matter of fact, those who have left, they left because, you know, the team was not giving these updates before that. So as usual, grab a coffee. We are going to talk about the new updates. We are going to talk about lobby selection and how would you select your lobby, because that's happening in a day or two, and I might not get another time to put another video tomorrow or day after tomorrow. I will try to make some time and get you another video where I will intensively discuss about the strats, but I want to do it today. In this video, I am going to share you how to select a lobby even if your Pegas are weak. Remember this, everybody from day one, and all the guilds have this data. People, those who have been in this game, knows what I have published a long time back. They have the tools and they know how to read, track data. They know which stats are better. So they're experienced players in this game. So if you do not know, this might be a good day for you to watch and do a recap and to understand how to do lobby selection. So let's go to desktop live scene, and you might have received this game updates, Modernized Marketplace, which I'm not very, it's good to look, but it's not a functional update for me, so I am not excited about this. Lobby selection, very, very excited about this. As a matter of fact, scholars will find this very, very interesting. I run 3 of my Pegas myself also, so I'll be finding this very interesting. Genetic fusing. Now, fusing beforehand was purely just gambling. Your eyes closed. You're just giving 2 NFTs, receiving 1 NFT, which is of a higher value. And fusing was not very, sufficient. Fusing had its own problems because a lot of the times when we fused, as a matter of fact, I had to sell 4 or 5 of my Pegas because after 4 fuse, it was only after 4 fuse that I got a decent Pega that I could keep. Otherwise, my legendaries are still 10%. I'm super excited about breeding chances because a lot of this time we were talking about one thing, that there's too many Pegas or too many Pacers in the community. So breeding chances allows you to give for the first time. They are following a Themis suggestion, which was Pega population control. And now you're going to see what these chances mean for you, which means that I'm not going to disclose it right now. It's a huge change. We're going to talk about fusing costs. But before that, let's talk about lobby selection. Now, lobby selection is what you need to focus on as a scholar. If you want to be the top scholar, there'll be scholar rewards that's coming up also. And I have posted this on my general chat. I don't know why you guys are not following the Discord, because the Discord community is now 134 people strong and everybody sharing their ideas in my Discord. But coming to Eris soon will be these. Eris is a platform for guilds and guild scholars. Now, scholarship have already been simply take this asset and use it in the game. However, the expansion of Ares management ability, scholarships transform into jobs, as non-asset owners will be able to manage specific assets, complete specific tasks for the guild. For example, a non-owner is given the admin role and is now being able to breed, assign Pega to new Pacers, take back Pega, and even fuse Pega if the guild owners have enabled them the permission. So you do not have to go through, all that stuff. All the tools will be provided for you. Basically, you are going to play the game for your guild owner. That's amazing. There will be guild versus guild competitions. Leaderboards will be created for specific events, and top ranking guilds will be rewarded heavily in PGX, NFTs, and more, which means gacha, loot boxes, and everything. And there will be rank based competitions. So, this is a leak that has not been provided, but this is going through between guilds and everything. This is what we found out. Let's go to Pegaxy discussion. Now, in lobby selection for the last few months or so, actually just before everything had crashed and everything, I worked on this project for 5 days straight. You guys know it. Those who have been in this channel for a long time, I know a lot of you guys left because the game actually had reached to a position where a lot of us, we lost interest. But this is something called JSON data. JSON data is basically taking a race link or a racing link, taking that, converting into JSON data just to find out what is the embedded code and what all stuff they're following. So even though I'll show you something. This was very interesting back in the days also, and still very interesting. Even though if I can bring it on this side, you will see that on the stadium, it shows that on top that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 attributes, right? But on JSON data, in stadiums, there is actually not 6. There's only 5 attributes. And those 5 attributes were coded, it was coded as race weather wind speed, race weather wind direction, race weather humidity, race weather light, and race weather fire. So there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There was only 5 attribute. And that was the reason it took me 5 days to understand what was going on. So this is how they positioned back in the days before this update that's going to happen on the 31st. Higher rewards was wind speed, more than wind direction, more than weather humidity, more than fire, more than weather light. With that derived, we had come up to our final data, which was this. So this was our final data, and you will see, and you will try to correlate this, that with these data, which is strength, speed, lightning, you'll take that, you will see that if a stadium has got, if you have higher strength, that means you should join a stadium that has got higher wind direction, higher wind speed or race, which means that you are going to check for higher wind will be a very big factor for you because you have higher strength, and like above 7 is considered as high. So anything under 7 is not considered as high. Anything above 7 will be higher, and you're going to notice these two attributes to be higher than 7 or not. It's kind of confusing in the beginning, but if you keep on watching this, following this, you'll get a hang of it, how to analyze your stuff. I'll probably do another tutorial for this, showing you, how it works and stuff like that. But for that, I want the update to drop. But you can use this tool in the beginning to utilize these all track datas for your benefits. If somebody wants to write down in comments in a much more refined way in different languages, you can do that. You can even come to my Discord and explain this particular data in a way easier way than I am explaining probably, but this was the core data that a lot of us worked on. So that was a short way of getting you introduced to how lobby selection actually works and what all stuff or tools you need, which will be down in description below. Genetic fusing, again, this was what we were asking from the very beginning. This fuse created so much of panic with this fuse with the PGX price pool reward system was the cause of of totally taking Pegaxy to the grave in the beginning. just because they did not had mechs to control Pega population. They had a lot of stuff they were trying to work on. But they were working with a very small team, and they knew that they didn't have that manpower to complete coding for a lot of, and a lot of this stuff requires a lot of coding, because you have to understand that this is not only a game, it's also interacting with blockchain. So you have to figure out, after first you have to develop a code, and then you have to figure out how will this work with the blockchain. So there were a lot of stuff that they were doing. So this is finally there. Let's talk about breeding chart. Now, this is what I was calling as Pega population control. So for example, you are a king in breeding strategy. You have one of the best breeding strategy. You have the highest amount of, a highest amount of high stat stable, right? Your stats are better. You will see there's an example now that previously you could go for pacer plus pacer, right? And your breed count remains the same. So you cannot do like second breed versus, you can still do breeding like second breed and third breed. So the breed chart doesn't change or anything. What they changed is that pacer and pacer, the chance to get a pacer is 97%, but there's a 2% chance and a 1% chance to get an epic. So for example, if you're breeding like more or less, and your job is just to make new pacers, that's what you're doing. You have two Pegas, you are breeding them and selling, because that's what people were doing. Now there might be a very good chance that suddenly you get a 2%. There's a 2% chance that you get a rare. People, those who are going for epic and epic, they have the highest chance to get 72% chance to get a rare, but they also have a 5% chance to get a legendary. They have 16% chance to get a pacer, which is kind of dicey, and there's a 7% chance that they can go for epic. And this goes actually all the way up to legendary plus legendary. If you're breeding them, your chance to get a legendary becomes 12%, but you have a higher chance to get, there's a 58% chance that you're going to get epic. But I would say that there might be a scenario where you're fusing breeding two legendaries and suddenly you get a rare. But for foundings, obviously foundings are those members that they don't want to touch. They treasure them a lot, because these are the people that were first showed confidence in the project. So when you're breeding a founding with a founding, your chance to get a legendary is 100%. But hey, previously, when you were doing legendary plus legendary, you never got a legendary. You always got epic. So how is that possible? Well, let's go to white paper Pegaxy. You go to white paper and then you go to breeding. These are all basics, folks, and this is for everybody who doesn't know the breeding thing. Okay, so watch this. Previously, founding could do only legendary. Founding and legendary could do epic, and legendary could do epic. So legendary and legendary never made another legendary before. So, but now there is a chance. There is a chance of 12% to get another legendary, and 58% for epic, which means that there is, like, epic is probably the ones that you get, but suddenly you might see there's a 25% chance to get a rare also. So higher is your Pega level, your breeding strategy should be different, because there might be a chance that suddenly you get a rare. So very good mechanic again, because in this way they can control Pega's population. I like this. I love this thing. Now here comes the biggest update, which they should have done that time. And why didn't you guys do that time? I do not know. But this is what we were asking for. Genetic fusing. Like breeding, there is genetic breeding, which means good higher wind, or like you always, whenever you're breeding, if you have higher strength lightning, speed, lightning, and fire, you try to breed with another Pega that has similar stats, so that your new Pega also has the similar stat. So genetic fuse follows the same thing, which means that if you have two rares and you're going towards epic, and you have very two good rares, and you want to make another epic out of it, 32,000, and you put 30, and then you control the stats. For example, I'm going for epic to legendary. So for example, I'm just giving you this example. Okay, so watch this. In my assets, I've got very good two good epics. I have this guy and I have this guy, right? But it is not good for me to fuse these two epics. Why? Because this one has a less strength. It has got more strength, this has less strength. So I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to choose this guy, which is 33% epic. So 7, 8, and 9. This is 8, 6, 8, right? So what happens now is that it makes me much more less nervous to fuse these two, because I know for sure, for a fact, that my legendary will have great stats. But should you do a 30%er epic, win rate epic with very good stats and fuse it? It's a little bit gambling out there, I would say. So do not fall for that. If you have good stat Pegas, do not fall for all this fuse or anything. But guess what? I'm also excited about. This is what I wanted. A lot of people has epic, rare epics, legendaries and all that stuff. They wanted a stats reroll, but instead of stats reroll on every tire, they did only for legendaries. Now that is smart thinking. That's a greedy thinking, but that's a smart thinking, because they want you to go all the way to the legendary, and then if your legendary comes back bad after fusing, you can re-roll stats to get a better legendary. This makes total sense. So what I would do is that this is my legendary, this is my stable. I have consolidated my thing, and you will see that I do not have a bad Pega at all in my stable. I have sold all of them. I've fused all of them. Fuse came bad. I started to resell them, took that money, and again started fusing. Came bad, sold them, like fuse. But then there was a time when I could not sell this legendary, because that legendary, I'm not going to sell an 11% legendary for like a price of like $40. I would rather wait, because I am here till the lights are turned off. So I'm waiting. So for me now, it makes more sense to go for a stats reroll, because I've got nothing to lose. I will pay 52,000 vis, 30 PGX, which is probably like $14 for me. $14, I can get a stats reroll. And maybe it's going to come again to another 10% or 11%. That's a form of gambling, or that's a form of risk that you can take. But if you ask me whether I'm going to take this risk or not, I am not going to do that risk, because stats reroll is just basically you now playing with 52,000 vis. Okay, but there is a way that you can do reroll if you are not happy with the stats of your Pegas, and that is very, very critical. That's amazing that they dropped an update like this. So that was it from the channel Techado. In this video, let's do a small recap. We showed you how to select your Pegas. That material is available down below in description. There'll be a link, which is a Google link. You're going to sit down, you're going to watch the video that is associated with that link, because in that video I have explained how to read that chart, how to understand that chart. Once you have done that, on 31st you are ready, and this will basically give scholars an edge too. A scholar now holds a very big power in their hand when they are looking for scholarship on bigger guilds, they can say that they have the highest MMR, they have the highest strategy. You can make your own reports that, like before the updates, I used to earn this much. After the update, I boosted my earnings by this much. And in that way, when a guild hires a high skilled scholar who knows how to play the game, you will get more percentage, or at least bonuses, or some other way of rewards because you are higher tier in scholar. That was a scenario in a lot of actually Axie, because I remember back in the days when Axie was not dead, we used to actually host live matches, not me, Techado used to host live matches to see which scholar actually knows how to play the game. And we used to select live on stream, like the day on, live on stream, we used to select. And that sort of scenario might happen again, and we can turn on the stream and we can select for, not my guild, for Techaton's guild, he can select a lot of people according to skills. So develop your skills. There's all tools available for you. Thank you for watching Techado. I hope you guys enjoyed this presentation and hope you guys are bullish as I am, because this is moving to the right track. Again, markets will react differently. When are you going to ROI from all of this? Brother and sister, I do not know. But is it moving in the right direction? It is moving in the right direction. As a matter of fact, I am on the same boat that you are. Okay? I had joined this game not at its peak, but when it was reaching the peak, I had taken a little bit of profits here and there, but I am still in the ocean. I'm still waiting to come up. Maybe your boat is way behind than me. But for me, I'm also not seeing the land. You feel me? I know that the land is nearby and I can ROI and get back to the land. But we are more or less in the same situation. And that is the reason, like you will see me that when they make right decisions, I will say that they have made a right decision. When they screw up with their decisions and their strategies go haywire, which was happening few months back, and I was there with you saying you that this strategy would not work. As a matter of fact, Fuse and rewards, Pega rewards was alone a very, very critical factor that had taken down Pegaxy. Or, I think they literally intentionally did it to give the game a little bit of pause so that they can hire more people and restart everything. But amazing job, Team Pegaxy. This was an amazing app update. I'm going to sleep. You guys have a good day, because I know it's morning for you guys maybe. And see you guys tomorrow maybe. Yes, tomorrow our video, which is for Rebel Bots, will finally drop. You will know why I'm bullish about Rebel Bots, but unfortunately they did not sell all their lands properly. They overestimated their lands probably, and they were putting at 150,000 lands were scheduled to sell, but out of which they could sell only 56% or 60% of the lands. But 75 USDC did not hurt me, so I had that amount of money saved for me from all the Pegaxy earnings, from my Axie earnings. I had that money saved for me, so I put in for a land. I bought a land, and we will see how that project works. So good night. See you guys tomorrow. I'm out.